Tucker Carlson speechless after discovering Michelle Obama's dirty secret. Michelle Obama recently revealed something unexpected that has everyone talking, even leaving Tucker Carlson momentarily stunned. She admitted feeling uneasy doing something as routine as renewing her driver's license or shopping at Whole Foods in Martha's Vineyard. Her words weren't just surprising. They raised eyebrows and sparked heated discussions. Why would someone as accomplished and admired as Michelle Obama feel this way? What's really going on behind the scenes of her public life? Her candid comments have opened the door to questions about the pressures of fame, race, and being in the spotlight, even years after leaving the White House. Think you know Michelle Obama? This revelation might change the way you see her. What's behind these fears? And what do they say about her life today? Stay tuned. It's a story that might surprise you. Michelle Obama's Let's Move initiative. A visionary plan or a flawed experiment? When Michelle Obama launched her Let's Move initiative in 2010, it was a bold and ambitious step toward tackling childhood obesity, an issue affecting millions of children across the United States. Her vision was clear: promote healthier eating habits, increase physical activity, and foster long-term changes in the way families approach nutrition and exercise. But while her goals were admirable, the initiative sparked significant controversy, particularly in its overhaul of school lunches. At the heart of Let's Move was the Healthy, Hunger-Free Kids Act, which introduced new standards for school meals. The guidelines were straightforward: reduce salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats while incorporating more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Michelle Obama's rallying cry was simple but powerful: if we want to help our kids grow up healthy, we need to change how we eat, how we move, and how we live every single day. Yet, what began as a hopeful push for better health quickly became a battleground. Students, particularly those with high energy needs like athletes, took to social media to air their frustrations. Under the hashtag #Thanks Michelle Obama, they shared images of bland, undersized meals that many claimed left them hungry and dissatisfied. The initiative's noble intentions clashed with a practical reality: healthy food isn't always appealing to young palates, and smaller portions didn't fit the needs of active students. The criticism wasn't limited to students. Schools struggled with the financial burden of meeting these new standards. Fresh, minimally processed foods came with higher price tags, creating challenges for districts already operating on tight budgets. In some schools, food waste skyrocketed, as students simply refused to eat what was offered. Cafeterias reported bins overflowing with untouched vegetables and fruits, a frustrating sight for administrators and parents alike. Despite the high hopes, Let's Move faced a sobering reality: the results were underwhelming. Childhood obesity rates didn't decline significantly in the short term, and the program's rollout varied widely across the country. Critics, including nutrition experts, argued that the initiative prioritized calorie reduction over taste and variety, alienating the very children it aimed to help. Among the loudest voices of dissent was political commentator Tucker Carlson, who framed the initiative as a case of government overreach. "This isn't just about food," he declared on his show. "This is about freedom. The government has no right to dictate what we or our children should eat. That should be the decision of parents and schools, not a first lady sitting in the White House." Carlson also questioned the effectiveness of the program, pointing to the lack of measurable progress in combating obesity. Michelle Obama might think a small apple and a plate of steamed vegetables make an ideal meal, he quipped, but for growing kids who need energy to learn and play, this is no better than forcing them to go hungry. Many parents echoed Carlson's concerns, acknowledging the importance of healthy eating but criticizing the rigid policies imposed on schools and families. One parent remarked, "We want our kids to eat better, but every child is different. These one-size-fits-all rules just don't work." In the end, Let's Move was a groundbreaking initiative that brought national attention to childhood obesity and inspired important conversations about health and nutrition. However, its execution revealed the complexities of changing habits and systems on such a large scale. While some viewed it as a well-intentioned effort hampered by practical challenges, others saw it as an example of government overstepping its bounds. Today, the debate surrounding Let's Move serves as a reminder. Creating lasting change is rarely simple. Even the most visionary plans must contend with real-world complexities, diverse needs, and differing perspectives. Michelle Obama's legacy as an advocate for health endures. But the lessons from her initiative highlight the challenges of balancing ambition with practicality. Michelle Obama, elegance or detachment? The debate over class and connection. As First Lady, Michelle Obama was celebrated for her grace, intelligence, and impeccable style. Draped in gowns by designers like Jason Wu and Alexander McQueen, she became a global fashion icon. But while many praised her polished image, others saw her wardrobe and lifestyle as symbols of a growing disconnect from everyday Americans. Michelle's choice of high-end fashion, with price tags sometimes reaching tens of thousands of dollars, sparked heated debates. While some applauded her for representing American elegance on the world stage, critics argued that such luxury alienated her from the working-class families she often spoke about. Tucker Carlson, never one to mince words, said, "Michelle Obama claims to stand with the working class, but a $12 dress tells a very different story. It's a reminder that she's living in a world far removed from most Americans." The critiques extended beyond her wardrobe. In 2010, Michelle's trip to Spain became a flashpoint for public outrage. The vacation, held at a lavish hotel with a significant security detail, was technically a private trip. However, the costs associated with transportation and protection, funded by taxpayers, led to accusations of extravagance. At a time when many Americans were grappling with unemployment and economic uncertainty, the sight of the First Lady enjoying a luxurious European retreat struck a nerve. Carlson, among others, didn't hold back. While millions of Americans were struggling to make ends meet, he remarked, Michelle Obama was lounging in a five-star hotel on the taxpayer's dime. It's a slap in the face to the working class. These criticisms weren't merely about money, they were about perception. For some, Michelle's background as a working-class girl from Chicago felt overshadowed by her current lifestyle. Her expensive clothing and high-profile vacations seemed, to critics, like signs she had lost touch with her roots. However, her supporters saw things differently. They argued that Michelle's success, and the way she carried herself, was a source of inspiration. Especially for women of color. She represented what was possible for anyone willing to work hard and rise above adversity. Her fashion choices and travels, they said, were part of her role in representing the United States on the global stage. The debate highlights the unique challenges faced by First Ladies, particularly those with as much cultural and social impact as Michelle Obama. On one hand, she was expected to exude sophistication and represent the nation with style. On the other, she was scrutinized for embodying a level of privilege that felt out of reach for many Americans. Michelle's journey from the South Side of Chicago to the White House was nothing short of remarkable. But her time as First Lady revealed the fine line between admiration and criticism, inspiration and detachment. While some saw her as a trailblazer redefining what a First Lady could be, others questioned whether her lifestyle aligned with the values she championed. The conversation around Michelle Obama's image is a reminder of the double standards and expectations placed on public figures, especially women, and the complex relationship between appearance, privilege, and public perception. Michelle Obama and the media, navigating criticism and misrepresentation. Michelle Obama's time as First Lady was filled with both admiration and scrutiny. While many saw her as a role model and a champion for change, her every word and action became a magnet for political and cultural debate. Few moments illustrate this tension better than her infamous 2008 remark, "For the first time in my adult life, I am proud of my country." The statement, made after Barack Obama secured the Democratic nomination for president, was intended as a reflection of hope and progress. But stripped of its context, it ignited a firestorm of criticism. Conservative voices, led by commentators like Tucker Carlson, quickly seized on the comment. Michelle Obama's words reveal the heart of the left's disdain for America. Carlson declared, "How could someone who had everything, a successful husband, a beautiful family, and a position of power, feel ungrateful toward the country that made it all possible?" For critics, The remark became a symbol of perceived elitism and detachment from the struggles of average Americans. To them, Michelle's pride seemed conditional, tied to political victories rather than an inherent love for the nation. Michelle later addressed the controversy, attempting to clarify her intent. "I love my country," she explained, "but I wanted to express how I felt about the state of affairs. About the inequality that I saw. I wanted to see more for all of us." While her words resonated with supporters who saw her as a voice for marginalized communities, others felt the damage was irreversible. The controversy became a flashpoint in the broader narrative of Michelle Obama's public image, a reflection of how polarizing figures can become in America's cultural and political landscape. Her challenges didn't end there. Throughout her tenure as First Lady, Michelle faced relentless scrutiny. Her initiatives, her fashion, even her tone of voice were dissected by the press and pundits. While her supporters lauded her as an inspirational leader redefining the role of the First Lady, detractors framed her as divisive and ungrateful, a narrative that echoed in much of the media coverage she received. Despite the backlash, Michelle remained steadfast, using her platform to promote causes close to her heart, from childhood health to military families. She worked to bridge divides, though the polarized reception to her efforts highlighted the difficulty of navigating the public sphere in an era of intense political division. Michelle Obama's journey underscores the complexities of being a highly visible public figure in modern America. Her legacy is a testament to resilience, even in the face of relentless criticism and media distortion. For many, she remains a symbol of progress and strength, proving that grace can endure even under the harshest spotlight. The legacy of Michelle Obama, a complex and enduring influence. Michelle Obama remains a cherished figure in American culture, her impact extending far beyond her time as First Lady. Her memoir, Becoming, quickly rose to bestseller status, celebrated for its raw and honest portrayal of her journey, triumphs, struggles, and everything in between. Yet, despite her widespread popularity, Michelle continues to be a polarizing figure. Her advocacy for healthier lifestyles, education, and women's rights has garnered global praise through initiatives like Let's Move, and her efforts to expand access to education. She sought to bring about meaningful change. However, her work has also invited criticism, particularly from conservative voices, who challenge the role of government in personal decision-making. Tucker Carlson, even years after her departure from the White House, remains outspoken in his critique of Michelle Obama. "She's a symbol of what's wrong with the political elite," he said. "They come into power, claim to represent the common people, but ultimately serve themselves." Despite this opposition, Michelle Obama has inspired countless individuals with her message of resilience and empowerment. Through speeches and public appearances, she encourages young people to embrace who they are and advocate for what they believe in. "Success isn't about how much money you make," Michelle once stated. "It's about the difference you make in people's lives." Her words reflect her dedication to fostering a sense of purpose and encouraging personal growth. Even when faced with criticism, Michelle Obama's legacy is far from settled. There remains a deep divide between how she is perceived, championing justice and equality for many, while simultaneously seen as out of touch with everyday struggles by others. Only time will provide a clearer understanding of how history will ultimately judge her contributions. Whether viewed as a transformative force or a figure of privilege, Michelle Obama's story continues to shape the ongoing dialogue about leadership, empowerment, and the path toward a more inclusive future. The Obama family and their lasting impact on politics. When Barack Obama was elected President of the United States, it marked a historic milestone, a moment of progress and unity that resonated deeply across the nation. Yet, alongside her husband's journey, Michelle Obama carved out her own legacy. As the First Lady, she became a symbol of grace, strength, and advocacy, offering a unique voice that extended beyond the confines of traditional political roles. Their journey, however, wasn't free from challenges or controversy. While Barack's presidency brought significant political debates, such as the Affordable Care Act, foreign policy, and economic reforms, Michelle's initiatives often took a backseat. Yet, her efforts were impactful in their own right, whether through Let's Move, to combat childhood obesity or her tireless advocacy for education and women's rights. For Michelle, navigating the media spotlight and the expectations tied to her position was no easy task. Representing not only her country but also serving as a role model for African American women added layers of complexity to her role. The burden of being seen as more than just a figurehead, but as a representative of an entire community, was overwhelming at times. She once said, "Despite the scrutiny, Michelle Obama left an indelible mark on American history. Her journey continues to be a source of inspiration, sparking both admiration and criticism. Whether celebrated as a hero for her advocacy and resilience, or viewed through the lens of elite privilege, her contributions to the cultural and political landscape remain undeniable. Through initiatives like Let's Move, and her unwavering commitment to social justice, Michelle reshaped the expectations of the First Lady's role. Her work laid the groundwork for future generations to pursue leadership with authenticity and purpose, encouraging young women to embrace their voices and challenge societal norms." Michelle Obama's influence beyond politics. Michelle Obama's influence extends far beyond her time in the White House. Since stepping away from her role as First Lady, she has become a powerful global advocate for social justice, education, gender equality, and mental health. Her continued engagement in public life has solidified her position as a prominent figure in both political and social movements. One of her most significant post-White House initiatives is the creation of the When We All Vote campaign. This campaign focuses on increasing voter participation across the United States, making voting more accessible to marginalized communities and encouraging civic engagement. Michelle's dedication to empowering individuals to have a voice in democracy highlights her commitment to equality and inclusion. The campaign's impact has been substantial, demonstrating her ability to mobilize people toward meaningful change. However, Michelle's activism has not been without its critics. Conservative commentator Tucker Carlson has been vocal in his opposition, particularly toward the When We All Vote campaign. He argues that it seeks to make the system work for certain groups while undermining traditional values. Carlson's criticism reflects a broader ideological divide, where progressives like Michelle are seen as pushing for a more inclusive society, while conservatives view such efforts as a threat to established norms. Despite these critiques, Michelle Obama continues to be a steadfast advocate for causes she believes in, using her platform to drive conversations around equity and justice. Her legacy remains one of empowerment, encouraging individuals to challenge the status quo and work toward a more inclusive future. Michelle Obama's personal life and public image. Beyond her work in politics and advocacy, Michelle Obama has cultivated a personal image that resonates deeply with the public. She is candid about the struggles she has faced, from balancing her career with raising a family to managing the intense pressures that come with being in the spotlight. In her memoir Becoming, Michelle opens up about her journey, sharing intimate moments of doubt, self-discovery, and personal growth. Her openness has struck a chord with millions of readers, as she reflects on the complexities of being a Black woman in a position that constantly scrutinizes her every move. Michelle's authenticity has become her defining trait. She doesn't shy away from discussing the emotional toll of public life, nor does she minimize the challenges of raising her daughters in the White House. Her ability to be vulnerable has made her deeply relatable to many. Regardless of political affiliation, her relationship with Barack also continues to be a cornerstone of her public image. Michelle often highlights how their partnership has been a source of strength and mutual understanding throughout their journey. This personal narrative underscores that beyond the headlines, she is first and foremost a mother, a wife, and a woman navigating the same highs and lows as countless others. Looking toward the future, Michelle Obama's ongoing impact. As Michelle Obama continues to use her platform to drive social change, her legacy continues to evolve, shaped by both her achievements and the challenges she faced. Whether celebrated or debated, there's no denying her profound influence on the cultural, political, and social fabric of America. In the years ahead, Michelle's commitment to advocacy and empowerment will persist, inspiring individuals to advocate for equity, justice, and progress. Through her books, campaigns, and public engagements, she has demonstrated that her reach extends far beyond the confines of the White House. While she may remain a polarizing figure for some, Michelle Obama's ability to unite people around shared values remains her most significant strength. Her efforts have helped foster a new era of activism, one that champions community, inclusivity, and personal growth. Regardless of where her future endeavors take her, Michelle Obama's enduring legacy will be remembered for her unwavering dedication to creating a better world, one initiative, one conversation, and one act of kindness at a time. Navigating the role of a cultural icon, Michelle Obama has effortlessly transcended her role as First Lady to become a cultural icon in her own right. Through her books, speeches, and media appearances, she has actively shaped her legacy on her terms. Unlike many public figures who are solely remembered for their political contributions, Michelle has cultivated a broad influence across education, activism, and even fashion. Her style, often described as effortlessly chic, has resonated with women from diverse backgrounds, promoting both comfort and elegance. Michelle's choice to wear designs by emerging Black designers has played a significant role in amplifying these voices and fostering more diverse representations in fashion. Through her wardrobe, she subtly advocates for causes such as body positivity, self-expression, and empowerment. Michelle's impact extends beyond fashion and activism. Her presence on social media has reached millions, providing a platform for positivity, inclusivity, and resilience. Through her Instagram account, for instance, she shares uplifting messages and insights, inspiring followers with themes of perseverance and self-belief. Her ability to connect with a wide audience on such a personal level has solidified her status as a cultural beacon for change and empowerment. Michelle Obama and the next generation of leaders. Michelle Obama's advocacy carries a profound impact, especially when seen through the eyes of future generations. Her dedication to inspiring young people to become more active in their communities has empowered countless individuals to take meaningful steps toward change, whether in politics, education, or social justice. Through initiatives like When We All Vote and her Let Girls Learn campaign, Michelle has worked tirelessly to ensure access to education and promote equity around the world. Her focus on empowering girls and advocating for their right to quality education reflects her belief that progress hinges on lifting up marginalized voices. Michelle's influence on young women, particularly those of color, has been transformative. Her speeches at universities, her best-selling memoir Becoming, and her ongoing social justice work continue to inspire individuals to believe in their potential and use their voices to drive positive change. Her unwavering commitment to social equity has set a powerful precedent for young leaders. Michelle has shown that the future belongs to those willing to challenge injustice and advocate for marginalized communities. Through her example, she reminds us that progress is built on the actions of those dedicated to making a difference. Michelle Obama's legacy, a multi-dimensional impact. Reflecting on Michelle Obama's journey, it becomes evident that her impact extends far beyond the traditional confines of public life. Through her work in education, advocacy for mental health, and promotion of fitness and healthy living, Michelle has embraced a variety of roles, creating a legacy that is both multi-dimensional and deeply influential. What sets Michelle apart is her ability to reshape the narrative around power and influence. Instead of adhering to conventional paths, she has carved out her own space, one that bridges the gap between public service, personal advocacy, and cultural leadership. Her transition from First Lady to author, advocate, and public speaker illustrates her remarkable adaptability and ongoing relevance. Even without holding political office, Michelle Obama continues to play a significant role in shaping national conversations. Her voice remains a driving force for social change, championing justice, equality, and empowerment. Her work resonates deeply and will undoubtedly inspire future generations to follow in her footsteps, creating a more inclusive and equitable society. The Obama family's legacy is one of complexity and undeniable influence. Barack Obama's presidency marked a historic milestone, but Michelle Obama's contributions extended far beyond the traditional role of First Lady, reshaping cultural narratives and inspiring change. Together, they embodied a vision of hope, progress, and resilience, though their journey was not without controversy. From healthcare reform to Michelle's advocacy for education and healthy living, every initiative faced intense scrutiny, revealing both the possibilities and limitations of leadership in a divided nation. But how has their time in the spotlight shaped our national identity and public discourse? Did their approach to leadership help unify the country? Or did it further illuminate deep societal divides? What do you think? Do you see the Obama family as trailblazers for progress? Or as a reflection of the complexities of navigating modern politics and identity? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if this discussion sparked something in you, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the people and events shaping our world. Thank you for watching.
Helen Mirren is one of the most iconic actresses of the 60s and 70s, but did you know she has kept many secrets hidden throughout her remarkable acting career? From enduring profound personal tragedies to overcoming tremendous challenges, Helen Mirren's life weaves a fascinating tapestry of resilience, talent, and perseverance. Join us as we uncover some of Helen Mirren's darkest secrets and most intriguing stories. 1. Royal connections. Helen was born Helen Lydia Mironoff on 26 July 1945 in Hammersmith, London. She was conceived at Charlotte's and Chelsea Hospital and was the daughter of Vasily Petrovich Mironov, a member of the Russian nobility, and Kathleen Alexandra Eva Matilda, a working-class Englishwoman from East London. Helen's family had an unusual history, as they worked for Queen Victoria in the 1800s. Her father, a Russian, migrated to Britain when he was 2 years old, adding to the family's complex and fascinating background. Helen's father, Vasily, later anglicized his name to Basil Mirren to better assimilate into British society. He was a member of the white Russian nobility who fled the Bolshevik Revolution. The family's connection to Queen Victoria stemmed from Basil's ancestors who served in the Russian court, eventually connecting with British royalty through various diplomatic relations. Despite this noble lineage, the family faced significant challenges in their new homeland, trying to make ends meet in a society that was still wary of foreigners. Helen's noble roots remained a point of intrigue throughout her career, often contrasting with the humble beginnings she experienced growing up in London. 2. Name change. Helen was not raised in a wealthy family. Her father worked hard to make ends meet as a cab driver and played the viola in an orchestra. However, the Second World War made things harder for the family, and Helen's father started working as an ambulance driver. He was even set for duty in the East End of London. Both of Helen's parents were married after World War II ended. The family changed their last name to Mirren to avoid problems with the British state during that period. Helen was born during this time, and her father had to leave the orchestra he was playing with to work extra hours as a cab driver. He eventually transferred jobs and started working as a civil servant with the Ministry of Transport. The decision to change the family name from Mironoff to Mirren was driven by the need to escape the anti-Russian sentiment prevalent in Britain during and after the war. The Mirren family, though of noble Russian descent, found themselves trying to blend into a British society that was deeply suspicious of Russian immigrants. The name change was a strategic move to ensure social acceptance and professional opportunities in post-war Britain. This name change symbolized a fresh start for the family, allowing them to integrate more smoothly into British society and pursue their aspirations without the added burden of prejudice. 3. Bond girl connection. In an interview, Helen Mirren considers her upbringing as an anti-monarchist. She was the second daughter of 3 children in the family, with an older sister named Kathy and a younger brother named Peter. However, Helen spent most of her time with her paternal cousin, who would later become known as Bond girl Tanya Mallet. The girls were both raised in Leigh-on-Sea, Essex, and spent most of their days together. Helen and Tanya shared a close bond during their formative years. Their time together was marked by shared dreams and aspirations, often spending their days acting out scenes and plays they created. Tanya Mallet, who gained fame as the Bond girl in Goldfinger, played an influential role in Helen's early interest in acting. Despite their different career paths, their childhood connection remained a cherished part of Helen's life. This familial connection to a well-known Bond girl added an interesting layer to Helen's own narrative, demonstrating the diverse talents within her family. 4. Early documentary. As Helen got older, she started working in the National Youth Theater. Her talents and performance were so exceptional that she eventually got invited to join the Royal Shakespeare Company. During this time, she appeared in many projects between 1965 and 1967. Just 3 years later, director and producer John Goldsmith directed a documentary called Doing Her Own Thing, inspired by Helen's work with the Royal Shakespeare Company. The documentary was shown on ITV networks in the United Kingdom in 1972 and 1973. Helen also worked with Peter Brook's International Center for Theater Research and joined a group tour across the United States and parts of North Africa. After the tours, Helen rejoined the Royal Shakespeare Company, where she played Lady Macbeth in 1974 and made many performances at the Aldwych Theatre. The documentary Doing Her Own Thing captured Helen's raw talent and dedication to her craft. It provided an intimate look at her journey with the Royal Shakespeare Company, showcasing her versatility and commitment to acting. Helen's experiences with Peter Brook's International Center for Theater Research further enriched her understanding of global theater practices, allowing her to blend different techniques and styles into her performances. This early exposure to diverse theatrical traditions helped shape Helen into the multifaceted actress she is today, giving her a broad foundation to draw upon throughout her career. 5. Commanding presence. In the early 1980s, Helen returned to the royal court for the premiere of Faith Healer. She won many awards for her roles, including a standout performance in The Duchess of Malfi at the Manchester Royal Theatre. Helen's presence and talent were so commanding that even when she was absent, her impact remained significant. In 1983, she made a memorable performance in